Hey guys, Chad with BAKO'S Custom Lawn, and we're doing a little different recipe this time around. We're going to make a Filipino dish. It's called BULALO, and I'm probably going to do it a little bit different. Maybe you want to call it the American way of making it, but basically what it is it's beef shank, and I cut these myself. So basically you get how many ever you think you're going to need. I'm going to make a pretty big pot of these, and that's kind of what they are. It's basically just a beef shank. It's got bone in, and it's got the marrow bone with the marrow inside of it. So we're just going to stick these in the pot, and I don't really trim any of the fat off because, as you know, the fat and the bone is all your flavor. So I'm just going to stick all these in there. I got the pot pretty full of water. I may have to dump just a bit of that out. You do want to fill your pot probably about 3/4 of the way full, and the reason is a lot of your water is going to evaporate as it's boiling. So I usually fill it up pretty full. So, but I am going to need to dump a bit of this out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, or we get too far along here. Like I said, we don't want to overdo the water. So anyway, that's kind of what it should look like. I may have to transfer this to a bigger pot. I was thinking I might be able to do it in this pot here, but I may have just a bit too much beef shank to do it in this small pot. So I think I can get it all boiled and cooked, but I may have to transfer it to a bigger pot to finish the recipe. So anyway, I've got a serrano pepper here, and generally what I like to do is I'll boil all these beef shanks for about 4 hours, kind of on a low boil with pretty much nothing in there. But I'm going to try it just a little bit different this time. I'm actually going to add a few of my ingredients to this to see if it's got better flavor. So basically I'm going to add my peppers. You can leave the seeds or you can take them out. I took mine out because some of these serranos can be a little bit spicy. So I'm gonna take the seeds out of mine because my kids are probably gonna try this as well. So I'm also gonna take a chunk of this ginger root here, and I'm also gonna chop this up and put it in this as well. And you don't have to take the skin off of this. A lot of people do, but we're gonna leave it on there. Put maybe one more slice in there. Ginger's super good for you, and if you're making a soup, I mean, it's one of the best ingredients you can add. I'm also gonna add this Filipino seasoning. It's called magic syrup, and it looks like this. Most Asian stores have it. This is basically just one of the seasonings that work really well in this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in, and I'm going to cook it with this seasoning in here. I've never tried this. Usually I add most of this stuff after I've boiled it for 4 hours. So it's something a little bit different. And also going to add some bay leaves in here. Take those little pieces out. Just add this big piece here. So I've got a 1 bay leaf. I'd probably add 2 if I had it, but I don't have. Well, I may have 1. I think I've got 1 up here actually. So maybe add another small one in there. Bay leaves are really good. Also going to add my garlic in as well. So as much or as little as you want. Like I said, normally I just boil this without anything for 4 hours, but I wanted to try something just a little bit different on this go around. So now I think I pretty much got everything in there that I want for the boiling process. So what I'll do is I'll pop the lid on here, and like I said, we're going to go ahead and boil this kind of on a low boil for about 4 hours, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients, which is corn, green onion, bok choy, and some other things as well. So this is kind of just getting it started. So we'll go ahead and continue on after this is boiled for 4 hours. All right, guys, Chad with BAKO'S Custom Lawn again, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this Filipino dish. The BULALO is what it's called, and basically this thing is I already boiled the beef shank for 4 hours, and I did have to transfer it to the larger pot, but there's only just a handful of ingredients really left to put in here. And like I said, this is kind of my version of this. I mean, you guys can add whatever seasonings you like, but I'm gonna add some of this stuff here. This is some of the Costco seasoning I've used before. You can get it Spice Islands garlic herb and seasoning. A couple of tablespoons of that, plus we're gonna do a little bit of this SPG here, Kinder's, a couple of these. This Kinder stuff is pretty darn good stuff. I like it so far. So anyway, I'm gonna throw some of that in there. I'm gonna throw a little bit of paprika in, not too much, just kind of for color. And then, of course, we're gonna add some of the Silver Swan soy sauce in here. About like that much. And then, like I said, you guys can add whatever you like. I got a little bit of this steak seasoning here from Kinder's too, so just add a little bit of that in there. I was gonna add some hot sauce in there. I usually add a little bit, but that pepper that I added earlier was pretty much good enough to add the spice. So this bok choy, I'm just gonna kind of cut the back end of it off, and then just kind of chop it into pieces. Generally, I like to use the baby bok choy, but this is the only kind of bok choy that was available this time, so it's just a full size bok choy basically. So anyway, we'll throw this in there. I will say, like I said, we'll boil this for 4 hours with just the little bit of stuff I added before, the bay leaf and the pepper and the ginger root and stuff like that. And then we add this stuff here, and then usually I cook it another 30 to 45 minutes, just kind of depends. I do add some corn. You know, usually if it's in summertime you can add fresh corn, but this time of year the only thing really available is frozen. So I'm gonna go ahead and add our frozen corn to this. Like that. I'm going to kick the temperature up. I just kind of had it on low there. I'm going to kick the temperature up on high here to get this thing kind of to a rolling boil, because that's what you want for about, like I said, 30 to 45 more minutes, and then it's pretty much good. I've got two deals of stick onions here, but I'm only going to use one. for the soup. She adds a nice flavor to them. I'll rinse these off real quick. Go ahead and cut the ends off of these. About like that. Get rid of these. You can dice them up however you like. I kind of do them about 1 inch pieces there. In fact, I may go ahead and add this extra one. This isn't a whole lot for the size of soup that I have here, so I'm going to actually go ahead and add this other one too. I was kind of thinking that when I bought it, I was like, yeah, maybe I better buy 2 just in case, and that's actually a good thing I did that. So real quick rinse off here. That's kind of the nice thing about cooking too. I mean, you can always add what you like or take away what you don't like, you know, so you don't have to follow this recipe to a T. Like I said, this is kind of my version of the BULALO Filipino soup. So I mean, I kind of kept with all the same seasonings and just added a couple of the seasonings I always use. So anyway, this is kind of what it looks like here. And at the end of this, obviously, you'll taste it and add more salt or garlic or whatever else you think this thing may need. So it should be pretty darn close to what it's gonna need. So anyway, we're gonna have to put the lid back on this. And if you're gonna do it, I suggest getting a big pot. I spent a little extra money and got this Viking pot, and it's quite large, but it works perfect for this. And I also use it for corned beef for St. Patrick's Day or whenever else I want to make it. So anyway, guys, go ahead and get this going for another 30 to 45 minutes, and then we'll finish this recipe off. Pull the lid off of this. You guys can kind of see what it looks like here. This is really an awesome soup if you guys want to try it. Like I said, you guys can put whatever kind of seasonings you want to try in here, but this type of weather, nice and cold, this soup really hits the spot. So if you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're on TikTok, heart, share. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.